Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne. It is Tuesday, August the 13th. The year's 2019. Let's talk trading. EURAUD, day 7. Before we continue with the EURAUD, just want to remind you, risk and money management, that's where it's at. Each and every trade. No exceptions. Because calculating your risk is very simple, and also calculate your stop loss and position size. It's very simple. You just want to make sure you don't lose any more on any one particular trade than you're willing to lose. As we look at the weekly chart, if you're just now tuning in, all the gaps have filled. The EURAUD, it's 122 pips off the weekly bottom and 23 pips off the weekly high. You can see it's in the upper wick zone of the previous week's candle. And if we look here at the buy zone, you can see it's pretty much channeling today, kind of a channel day. You notice we had the pivot point below the daily open, but above the weekly open. So that being the case, we were ignoring any long signal. We were only trading short. We entered here and we took out the pivot on this candle and then some. And as you can see, it made a lower low, came back, and right here, when it exited this wick zone, this was the time to take profit. Sure, you may think you left a little on the table, but that's okay. And looking at the daily chart, you can see at the moment, we've got an inside bar in the range of 94, and we've got 4 pairs over 100. The thing to notice is price entered the upper wick zone and then came out, and there would have been a nice payoff. Very nice payoff here. Now, since we switched over to this pair, I've been showing you different ways to analyze it. So I pulled up the real-time price analyzer. Yesterday, we had the price travel analyzer, and this is another 2017 donational indicator. But it's not about the indicator, it's about the information. What this does is in real time, it basically gives you a frequency distribution so you can pretty much know historically what price is done. So right now, you see price is right here. So how many times was price greater than the R1 pivot point? Okay. So right here, we'd only have the mids showing. I wonder why that is. There must be a reason. Show pivot true, show mid pivot true. What if I put show mid pivots false? Okay. This is interesting. Show pivot true. Oh, I know. Show pivot support. Pivot SR. There we go. So as you can see, right now price is between R1 and the pivot point. High greater than R1 76 times out of the last 100. Close greater only 34 times. Close less than 66 times. Close greater than the pivot 56 times. Close less than the pivot 44. So you can see chances are, based on a real-time price analyzer, price is most likely going to close above the pivot point today. Now, of course, things can change, and these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And Forex trading is just like all trading. It's very risky. You can lose all your portfolio money. So, if you're seeking advice, find it with an accredited financial professional. And that way, when they lose all your money, hey, at least they were accredited. Oh, life's too funny. I tell you, it really is. Some of the things, if you just take a big step back and you look at the big picture, you just have to laugh. The things that people come up with. Somebody sent I think it was a video today. Haven't had a chance to watch it, but it said indicators are dead. Now, in this version of the price travel analyzer, we're looking at the previous candle. So I still have the midpoints there for some reason. I must have been thinking something different when I made these templates. But let's see. Let's fix that. We want the high. We want that show open false, show top bottom true, show pivot false, show mid pivots false. There we go. So high greater than the previous candle top 78% of the time, close greater 41% of the time. Close less than 59, greater than the midpoint 52, greater than the previous bottom 70. So what this is telling me is and then we got the low less than the previous bottom 80% of the time. What this is telling me is that the EUR-AUD has a tendency to close above the midpoint, and it seems like it also has a tendency to close green. If I'm looking at this right, it's a little earlier than my normal because I have a full day. I've got to go to class, take a couple classes today. You're never too old to learn. And looking at the Einstein line, you can see since I've loaded up this profile, there just hasn't been much movement. When we look at just the price action on the EUR-AUD today, once again, we could, just from the chart, we could see it ranged. But playing price action, we can play it using the 3-level ZZ indicator. So 2 ball at the bottom, you go green at the line. You might have right here jumped in just a tad bit early, but green at the line paid off. 2 ball at the top, red at the line. Right now you're about a pip or two up. And as I say, that price just reversed. And that's why on this particular pair, based on this spread, once you get a couple of pips up, you're probably, if there's any hesitation, if it switches, just take the money off the table, because it has to retrace a couple of pips for this to switch. It has to basically cover the spread. And so if you're up 3 to 4 pips and it reverses 2, you could get taken out, because then it might reverse the other way and hit your stop. Now, I've been asked about where do you place your stop. Well, it depends on a couple of things. Let's just say if you're trading this way, so if you went short here, you probably want to put your stop here. Okay? So depending on where price opened, or if you're just trading at the line, then you're going to have a 10 pip stop. Well, then you have to size the trade so the risk is not greater than what you want to risk. So let's say you have $1,000 account, you're willing to risk 1% or $10. Okay, so then that means you're going to be trading at $1 a pip. Maybe you only want to risk 0.5% per trade, so you'd be trading at 50 cents per trip. So depending on the pair, and it's dollars per pip, that's how you would size your trade. I hope that's clear, because I get asked that question probably at least once a week, maybe once every other week, just depending on how many new people see my videos. And which, by the way, thanks again for those of you who posted my videos, the links to my videos on other forums to introduce traders to me. I've picked up a few new traders that are watching and learning. So feel free to ask questions. If you send an email and you're having trouble with an indicator, please send a picture of the chart or the template you're using, so I can then see what you see, so I know what the problem you're having just may be. Oh, and one other thing, I would like to thank those who donated. But just remember, I'm not in the business to sell indicators, so I just send them out as a package. I do everything by hand. It's not automated. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, those of you who say, well, send me this indicator, that indicator, that's not how it works. You get the whole batch for the year. But as you can see here now, price, if you hung in that trade, you're starting to pick up pips. Moving nicely. So once again, this really isn't difficult. But if let's just go back here to the real-time price analyzer. So, oh, you know what I didn't put on here? Uh-oh, I think I just did something. I just accidentally hit one-click trading. I hate it when that happens. I need to show